Welcome to the 2017 through 2020 Success Steps Crystal Ball State of the Industry Report. My name is Frank Sahlein. I'm proud to present this on behalf of USA Gymnastics as our educational partnership. As you know, business is difficult at best. We have a great industry and a great time in the industry's history, and yet still all of these factors come into play. One of the things that we might look at as we look at our crystal ball is the state of the industry and a look at an annual white paper format that we use in terms of what industries are in the Children's Activity Center sphere, and those that are what we might call gymnastics specialists. That's one thing, of course, and then others that are more fully featured, offering a variety of things in sports, education, and arts. What's your model? That depends on your business objectives and your community. And the drivers, of course, for this, the drivers of the industry, of course, the grassroots businesses, gymnastics schools, gymnastics-based children's centers. That's the heartbeat of the industry. The popularity is way up. We've all crossed the chasm in terms of customer expectations. They expect us to be good. They expect us to provide great service, and they expect to pay for that service. So it's a credit to our entire industry. The trends on the global scene, when you look at Europe, Asia, Australasia, Australia, Canada, the US, all of North America, Mexico, etc. Growing trends in all of these industries in terms of quality and service and in pricing of those services. Same thing at the national level. Across the US, regionally, that's pretty consistent, and locally may depend on your local market area and market conditions to some degree. The business environmental factors for any place in time or any business at a particular place in time do depend upon your global and national trends, your specific industry trends, and then your market area demographics or socioeconomics. It pays to keep track of all three of these things till you know where you are. For the crystal ball and ROI for individual business systems, we are looking at the return on time energy, what we call time energy, and it is progressive and specific to the individual business systems, no matter what type of business system you may use. And obviously, in the TechSmart aspect of this, we'll look at this in just a moment. But looking at that and looking at the technology you're using, certainly your CRMs, your customer relationship databases, very, very important, but there's a lot of types of dashboards nowadays, of course. And the areas that you see here are in progressive order. Once you've got your management act together in the big picture, then you're able to convey that message through to your marketing. Once you do that, you're able to convey that to your people, who are able then to serve the students and parents that come in. Then you're looking at technologies to ramp up the productivity of your people. Then you're looking at how to handle your financials and your cash flow. Once you do that, you can afford what you need to in your facilities as far as the upkeep, the interior, exterior equipment, and future needs. Once you've done all that, you've got to protect your investment of everything that's come by in the systems before. And last but not least, of course, continue to inspire people through your own motivation and motivating others by providing them educational opportunities. So looking first in here, and I guess looking at the first infographic on Manage Smart, what we have talked about here in terms of a crystal ball is that your overall business model needs to be evaluated every year if possible. This number 4, every program that you've got needs to be evaluated for relevance. And so you can look at this a little bit later. Of course, you have this presentation, and if you like, you can get it in PDF format from us here at Third Level Consulting. The trends in terms of your management, today's parent wants and needs, we've known this for a long time, that they want and need convenient locations that are clean and safe, and have got a reputation for excellent instruction, excellent programs, curriculums, etc. And so we all know that at this point. So looking at the crystal ball and the infinite ROI of management, our prediction here is, of course, that your business team, your business model, your business systems are the main elements that determine your ROI and valuation multiple of your businesses. Eventually, the businesses are made to transfer or sell, and that's where the ROI comes in through the Manage Smart steps. In the Market Smart arena and the crystal ball there, we can look at this type of infographic with the progressive steps you see here 1 through 8 to maximize your marketing. Gathering your marketing team and having a plan to design and track all of your marketing plan activities for both customer acquisition and retention is the key. There's great technologies for this at this point, and you want to subscribe to those and use those to the best of the ability. The marketing trends, you can look at some marketing trends here. As we indicated, the customers already understand the benefit of gymnastics due to the quality of our everyday programs and our marketing acumen that has grown and grown since probably nonstop since the 2004 to 2008 cycles. So looking at a few trends that are there, then it leads us to our crystal ball and an X return on investment, meaning that's up to you. After all, every step on that Market Smart system leads up to marketing plans of two types. One is external for customer acquisition, and the other one is internal for customer retention. Even if you have waiting lists, you want to be looking at internal marketing. So, the elements to develop marketing plans are here. I'm not going to read you information that you can certainly read yourself here. You can ask yourself if you have strategic goals, if you know your market area demographics and your market share, if you can design campaigns, maybe the themes for those, if you know the tactics you're going to deliver, if you can discuss intelligently with your marketing team the budget for each one of the tactics and the return on investment measurement tools. And that's critical to long-term success. If we look at the People Smart arena, there are a number of challenges in this area. And of course, as we walk up the steps that look at the lifespan of somebody through your organization, from the org chart and where they fit, through the sourcing and orienting and onboarding, through positions and evaluations, education and pay, communication, and exits and dismissals, you can see here that on this, there are a couple of main challenges. We look at two main challenges that we've noticed globally. The number one challenge is the ability to effectively source, recruit, assess, and retain staff at all levels, especially at the instructional level. The management level, where people have more opportunity to make more money, etc., they're generally very self-motivated, and there are tools out there to train the management aspects. But at the instructional level, the sourcing is probably the critical part of this. And when we look at we call wide funnel sourcing, that is where it's vital that we see that there are maybe up to 12 to 16 different sources of staff these days. And if we take a broad range and increase the size of the funnel at the top, and then as people go through the hiring system and the assessment process through application, reference checking, interviews, and observation, if we're looking for the key traits, and we've identified 6 of them that pretty much guarantee success in sports, arts, education, entertainment with children, that's going to be huge. So the tools that feature that are going to be would help you determine your ROI. The number 2 challenge in the industry, beyond the sourcing, assessing, recruiting, etc., is creating a customized university, an educational university, and to track the progress of your key managers and staff. So LMSs, or learning management systems, that offer both business leadership and personal development is ideal, and this technology exists already today. The trends in the crystal ball here have to do with every step on your People Smart system leading up to effective management and growth. If you want to dominate your market, educate and motivate your staff. So looking at future-facing org charts, automating the process, moving to more full-time staff, and understanding the part-time and full-time avatars that are people that are in your facility right now is important too. further understanding that there are part-time staff that are engaged and other ones that are just transitory. And we really want to work on educating that part-time staff. It's likely that that's where your next stars are going to come from. In essence, the ROI for People Smart is going to come from the cost benefit ratio formula, looking at the training program benefits versus your training program cost. There are lots of, again, technologies that can assist you with this, but that is challenge number 2. In the Tech Smart arena, looking at these steps to success, numbers 3, 4, and 5 are the critical ones. Your CRM database, of course, we're going to have that. There's a lot of great databases out there. The business dashboards, the new ones out there, the Smart Edge dashboards, maybe you found some others that are appropriate for you, that will help you actually run your business on a system like this. And then the curriculums and teacher training, your lesson planning, your teacher training, your student skill monitoring, critical, and there's some great people out there that are doing those things. And then keeping a technology map so you can keep track of your technologies. So when we're looking at the crystal ball and the ROI on this, the tech tools, we want to be aware of them and deploy them intelligently so that your staff can work as fast as they can think. If that happens, then the customers can be served as fast as they want to be served, and everybody has a success pathway with technology. And you can see here the little graphics on technology, where technology changes exponentially, but organizations change logarithmically. Our job in the middle here is to decide which changes are adapted and why, and to determine the ROI on each dollar of each technology, which should return 3 to 10 times in quality, efficiency, and profitability. In terms of finance and the finance smart steps to success, again, you can see the 8 steps. Once you get cash flow coming in, then what you do with it, of course, helps determine your success. Once the first 4 elements are in place, then cash flow does improve radically. This 4, 5, and 6, payroll, pricing, and class ratios, are kind of the holy grail of profitability. You may have heard this before in the industry. And looking at the financial reporting, we need to have great monthly reports or periodic reports. Maybe you want them even more weekly or daily, but at the very least, our balance sheet, year-to-date income statements, the rolling 12 income statements, cash flow statements, budget comparisons, other business metrics. You want to set those and be monitoring those. In the crystal ball and ROI for Finance Smart, we feel that gross revenues will continue to rise and net revenues will continue to rise until we are in the 15% of gross revenues after reasonable intercompensation range. That's your net profit. Now you're in the banking and investor range, which is fantastic. In the Facility Smart steps to success, the key here, when we look at our trends in crystal ball here for facility, is understanding your space allocation, space production, and space maintenance. These are where you get your ROI from, and you actually start to protect yourself as well. So some of the key features are here: real estate ownership, leverage of technologies, etc. Even in facilities is critical. When we start looking at our risk steps to success, there are any number of these, and we just want to be sure we have them checked. By this point, when we get to the first 6 that are all in place, Risk Smart is the 7th element, and arguably the most important one once we get to this point. And the truth is, of course, they're all important, but you've got to protect what you've got in terms of your facility equipment, maintenance checking, your accidents and incidents, your interior and exterior risk assessment. Those things all have real application and can be addressed with this riskassure.net, which USA Gymnastics clubs have for free for a few months, and then it's very inexpensive, like $99 a year, to ensure that you are monitoring correctly. And your ROI is generated by an application like that as well. Again, these applications should be generating 5 to 10 times the investment and savings. And finally, we get to the area of inspiration. You can look at the way we break it down into areas of inspiration. The crystal ball or ROI on this is that when a company offers professional and personal development both to existing and prospective staff, it's the ultimate edge and will elevate your efforts to recruit and retain the best people. So when we looked at those people smart challenges, one was sourcing and assessing, and the other challenge in people smart was educating forward. And this is where we start talking about this, and this is why the crystal ball and ROI has to do with professional and personal development. So that's it. This is Frank Sahlein. I'm pleased to have brought you this brief report on the crystal ball the way we see it. Enjoy the journey.